This is ENS Insider, brought to you by the Face of Fun Committee and probably every other committee in ENS, with your hosts Cameron Maves and Danielle Coleman. Welcome to another episode of ENS Insider. We are graced by the presence of Lucinda Elliott today. Hi, Lucinda.
Hello. I
How
love
are you?
that. Graced. I'm
Yes.
gracing you.
It's
We
an
are
honor.
lucky.
It's an honor for us. Worth pointing out because it's, we tried. Maybe we were a little biased. We had a lot of Rochester folks on the podcast, and we've spread our wings a little bit this episode. So, we're happy to have you on here and get to know you a little bit more, get to know your story, and you know how it always starts. If you've seen any episodes before, I know you have, but for those out there that haven't, we always start with a little 2 minutes about you, and you can use that time to talk about your paychecks life, your outside of paychecks life, a little combo platter, however you want to do it. But we give you 2 minutes just to do a little deep dive on Lucinda. So does that sound good?
Fantastic.
All right, Danielle,
All right.
go ahead.
All right, I'm going to hit the
Spin.
timer. Ready, set.
Timer.
I'm first going to say I love the fact that you use the term combo platter. I've heard it a few times and I've tried to interject that in my day-to-day because I think it's awesome because it's one thing to say options, but combo platter just sounds so much more fun.
It does.
Anyways, I appreciate you taking people out of Rochester. Not that everybody in Rochester is fantastic, but sometimes you see the same song and dance. So, coming from you from sunny-ish Southern California, professionally been with Paychex, I don't know, 12 years, give or take. We'll say so much. In tax-ish world with Paychex most of the time. Kind of found an area, loved it, and never want to leave sometimes. Non-professionally, most people think I'm like crazy because I'm always talking about going to work out, being outside, running, trail running, adventure racing, all this fun stuff, and they think I'm absolutely nuts, but it's so much fun. Yeah, you will
Especially in
always find me
California.
laughing. Yeah, well, California, and I mean, I do a lot in like Arizona area too.
Yeah.
So a lot of things outside of California, lots of good stuff. Love traveling, love adventure in general. Just always on the go, and 9 times out of 10, you'll usually find me laughing about something because, trying to lighten the mood and
Yeah.
work and life doesn't need to be so serious. We could have fun sometimes. Always love a good meme. Love sharing them with my teammates, boss, etc. So, yeah.
Love it.
Awesome.
that-
15 more seconds.
Oh my gosh. Fun fact, favorite color is sparkle. All right, there you go.
Ooh,
That's
just
the
sparkle.
first.
Just sparkle.
I love it.
I do too.
That's a fun fact and one I would never guess because I didn't even know that
never in a
answer
million
to that
years.
question. So
Yeah, I've argued with children that sparkle is a color. They like to tell me no.
I love it.
I love it too. And that's a really good kind of like the work and life doesn't have to be so serious. Kind of a good, not even a segue, but that's kind of what we're trying to do with this podcast too.
Yeah.
Is, bringing a little bit of the life to our coworkers and managers and stuff like that. So that's what we're here for, and we're glad you're here. And you and Danielle could probably have a whole conversation about travel and adventures. I'm sure because she's got the wanderlust life, which sounds like maybe you have a little bit of that too.
Just a touch. Just a touch.
Oh no, I'm like full throttle. Like I can't finish a trip without the next one halfway planned. Like I have to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll be on a trip and I'm also like, okay, so when are we going to the next Absolutely. I have the same mindset. I have like the next 10 trips planned constantly.
Yeah.
It's just, need to win the lotto and I actually like my job. So I like to come to work and work, but it's like, no, I need to also have those trips if I could just have everything.
Yes.
Danielle called my wife and I about a trip next February the other day. So
nice. Where are you gonna go?
Go ahead, Danielle.
So like the Adirondacks, I'm pointing north. The Adirondacks, there's a winter festival in Saranac Lake that
Wow.
has a lot of fun things, and they're gonna have a newish baby, and it's a good trip for
Nice.
that. And one of the reasons I want to go is because um, there's a contest for women to throw a frying pan down the street.
That's awesome. That is
Just to
so my
say,
jam.
right, like to
Yeah.
say, like, oh, I came in, whatever, 12th place in a pan frying, a frying pan contest. I feel good about it. So,
So here's the $1 million question. Are you going to train for this?
see,
Or are you just going to go off the hook that day? Just like whatever happens with the pan, you're just going to throw it? Or are you going to like start with like some heavier weights so the
right?
pan's lighter? Like I have this whole training plan for you in
Yeah.
my head. We got to
So,
win this.
unfortunately, frying pan training is not on my Garmin, so I don't know how I'm going to do it. No, I'm kidding. I
Love
am
it. Garmin
extremely,
wear.
there you go. I'm very competitive, so there is a chance that I'll probably end up in the street at least once before this contest to see, how it goes. So
That's awesome.
You're deep in
That's
the
awesome.
kettlebell stuff, though. She's been doing kettlebell workouts at home,
that's
Nice.
true. That's true.
working on those arms, getting stronger.
I am.
Definitely will beat my wife. There's no doubt about that.
Nice.
Don't tell Hannah,
Nice.
but
Strength, yeah,
Nice.
strength to me, if we're talking strength, I'm thinking like powers, superpowers, Oven. What if Danielle and I were thinking, what if we talked about superpowers? Like, Danielle, what do you think about superpowers? You think like superpowers at work, superpowers outside of work?
let's do
How do you want to
both.
phrase this? How do you want to phrase this to Lucinda?
It's a good question. I've been racking my brain about it. So we did a couple weeks ago. I ran an activity in one of our team meetings about superpowers. Like, what is your superpower? Um, and so for me, I wish I'd given this answer then, but my answer is I have this alter ego. I call her Jersey Danielle. I lived in New Jersey for a long time. And it gives people like it is the correct image what you have in your head right now. She's tough. She doesn't take anyone's business. And you know, I don't like bringing Jersey Danielle out, but when she comes out, usually stuff gets done, whether or not people are happy about it. So like,
Oh.
what
She's
would
scary.
be? I am scary. So like, what would be your like personal superpower?
Oh my gosh, that's a hard one. And say I'll tell you what I wish my superpower was, but it's not something that I have. Um, that's a good question. I have no
We can
idea.
ask Cam. You can think about it. Cam
Yeah,
can tell us what his is.
I'll tell
Yeah,
you
Cam,
mine
what's
while you
yours?
ponder it.
Sure.
Mine is being able to infinitely annoy my wife without her leaving me. I've been practicing for years now. She's still here.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
no, I'm really great though. I do a
And you
lot of
know
good
it.
things. But
That's a
that's
funny
a
one.
superpower.
Yeah.
Being able to annoy people and them still like me is that's underrated superpower. Uh, I am a whatever I'm like at work on calls, and if people think I'm quirky sometimes on those calls, it's like times 100 at home. So I feel bad for her honestly, but she loves me.
Nice. I like it.
She
Um,
does.
I guess if I, off the cuff, if I had to sum up something, I would say something along the lines of like resiliency or like I'm gonna kind of use the word infinite strength, not like I could be
I
Power
love it.
Man and lift like a million things, but I find myself, whether it's, personally or professionally, when I think, oh my gosh, I'm tired, I just can't, do one more thing, it just happens. And it's just, having that ability to just like put your like nose to the grindstone, just like go, 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 go. Like no, like there's no like work limit or there's no personal limit. Like
Mhm.
even since I was a little kid, like I know my mom, she'd be like, okay, well, there's 24 hours in a day, but you pack 36 hours worth of stuff, easily in 24 hours. And I do the same at work. Like sometimes people have commented, like, I don't know how you just got through that much stuff. And it's just like having that ability to like know I could just get through it, like just go, and just not have an off button until everything's done. And like I said, it's just a personality trait, I guess, because it's both, sometimes my husband even says it. He's like, aren't you tired? Like, don't you want to just like sit down? And it's like, yeah, sure I do. But when stuff needs to happen, like it just has to keep going. Or he'll see me after work and he'll be like, how are you working out? I'm so exhausted. I'm like, because I work out to, give me strength so that I can
Yeah.
keep going,
Yeah.
But yeah.
And
But if I literally could have any superpower
Oh,
in the
let's hear it.
world that I don't have, it would just be like languages. Like I want the ability to just like anybody, like just no matter what language you speak to me in, understand and be able to communicate back to you, like anywhere in the world.
and animals probably.
Animals, I don't really care so much about, but I mean, I do care about animals. Don't get me wrong. I'm
Dr.
just saying, like,
Doolittle over here.
yeah, I don't want to be like Dr. Doolittle and like start talking to them, but
All right, fair enough.
but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, that's actually a really good. I've never heard that answer before for that.
That is a really good one.
Yeah.
That is a really good answer. And I am
It would just be so cool. Like you would never
Yeah.
struggle. Like you go up to somebody who's deaf and you would just be able to know how to do sign language or, any
That'd be
country. I mean, especially when it comes to travel, like how many times have you been someplace and you're just like trying to communicate with somebody and maybe you just don't have all the keys.
Yeah. Or like when you're getting your nails done, you want to know what they're saying about you.
This is true. This is a good one. A lot of times.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
guess. Maybe. I mean, I've
But
been going to the
something-
same place since I was in high school, so I mean, I feel like I have a very good relationship with them, and
There you
typically I
go.
know what they're
When
talking about, even if I don't understand the language.
When I took my socks off, I tell you, the lady doing my pedicure, I don't know. She wasn't happy with me, I don't think. But I play hockey, so my feet are kind of rough. The skates,
Yeah.
it's all in there. But
I appreciate you, giving yourself some self-care though, Cam. It's good.
once in a while.
That's good.
It couldn't be more opposite from you and all that stuff you said about like wanting to keep doing more things and not stopping. I personally get overwhelmed and shut down completely. So I need a little bit of your superhero strength. I'm sure your bosses love you for that though. That's would you say like
It's a double-edged sword, just so
sure,
you know. It's a double-edged sword because
that makes
at the same time I can get super passionate about something and some people will be like, "Slow down.
sense.
Calm down. Save it for another day." So, as much as it could be a positive, it could definitely be a negative. So, keep it in
That's
mind.
fair. That makes me feel a little bit better about myself. So Danielle, you wanted to ask that question as well in a different way, like work wise, right? Like if if someone needed something, what could they come to you for? Your superpower work, right? How do you word that, Danielle? You did a better job than I did.
Oh,
Obviously.
thanks. So, what is one thing that someone could ask you of or about that you would absolutely know, no questions asked, and whether they were calling for a client or for themselves just to have more information? What would be that thing? Like, what would you be the go-to for regarding that? Like, mine is this thing called PCI compliance. Someone on my team even made me a sign that called me the PCI
How cute.
queen. So something like that. What would be the thing for you, Lucinda?
Oh gosh. Well, maybe I will retract my first thought about the answer because it might sound cocky, but so if we're talking like a physical, tangible thing, would probably be anything COVID tax credit related. I feel like a lot of those questions come to me. I'm very comfortable, knowledgeable in that space. But to be honest with you, my original like thought to that, was kind of to be anything. And the reason I say that is not that I know the answers, is that I feel a lot of people do come to me because just having that creativity of either knowing like, okay, I don't know the answer, but Bob knows the answer. Let me connect you with Bob. Or it's in this like I don't know the answers, but I feel like I know the connectors to get people into the right path sometimes. Or just the creativity of just like, hey, did you think about it in this fashion? So I didn't solve their question, but maybe redirect them in a certain way to solve it. But As far as tangible,
Fantastic.
probably COVID or general tax related questions,
Yeah.
but a lot
You
of
know,
the COVID stuff because it's like day one, I remember very clearly the day everybody was told that they were going home. That day we'll all remember. I was on a plane on my way to Hawaii because I already had a trip booked to Hawaii and I
Ah,
knew, well, when you come back, you might be working from home. And I'm like, I'm still going to Hawaii. And it was the best trip ever because guess what? Nobody was there.
no one was
eh,
there.
Instant
Excellent.
first class upgrades. Even at the hotel, they're like, what room do you want to stay at? Because we have like 13% occupancy. And I'm
There
like,
you go.
absolutely, can I stay in this room? And things weren't quite shut down there yet. They shut down once I left. But it was probably the best week because it was there. Anyways, but I remember having phone conversations with team members and supervisors and whatnot because they were like, we have this issue. We need an immediate response for these COVID related items. Like, what can we do? And kind of just troubleshooting it from day one of, the world wants to create a million brand new tax and non-tax related,
Right.
policies. And so it's just, learning through all the little nuances and the details for the past, what are we, 3 years now?
Yeah.
I'll be
Yeah.
so sad when it kind of all goes away and I'll be like, what do I do with myself? No, I take that back. I have plenty to do. But
More adventures. More
but
Go
adventures.
find a new
yes.
thing,
Yes.
new niche.
It's
Yes.
wonderful. It's really good. I'm in a lot of committees, and everyone, it always comes up like, we don't know enough about our partners anymore because we're
Mhm.
not in the office or we're kind of all over it. And that's kind of where this
Yeah.
conversation, where I wanted it to go, was exactly your answer. So, yay, I'm so glad we asked you to do this. I really am.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting because, I come well, so because of COVID and because of all the changes, first of all, we had to all go work from home. So it was very new for a lot of people. And then, after things started loosening and people would come back into the office, still a lot of people had the opportunity to permanently work from home, which was fantastic. But something to keep in mind is that like a lot of those teams, even if they chose to work from home, they still had happy hours after work, or they still physically, in a location, like maybe you weren't right next to somebody, but within maybe a 15-20 minute drive, you can meet up with somebody because you had, pre-pandemic. I've worked for a team that was nationwide and remote, like in field tax pay for forever. Like if you ever physically met your supervisor, you were one of the lucky ones. Like that never happened. Like this is as much as you would ever see from your supervisor. You were lucky if you maintain that like personal relationship. And I was very fortunate where I was able to travel to like Rochester a couple of times for various things. And I've met people over the years, but that's different. But,
Mhm.
it's so common that, you are on a team that work in 8 different states. You're never going to meet that person. You're never, and so it's so hard to establish that personal relationship. So, that was another reason why I was like, it's so important to, there's so many more personalities,
Mhm.
under our umbrella, and everybody is so, strangely different. And how do you get to know them all? It's very hard. You have to make that, it's not even 110% effort. It's way more than that to really know your coworkers
Yeah.
beyond our nice little screens.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Well, we got about 300 or so more episodes to do till we cover everyone. So
Fantastic.
we'll keep
Well,
chipping away. We'll keep
We're
chipping away.
trying. We're chipping away.
no, I know.
But
I
yeah, no,
appreciate
I
your guys' efforts.
agree. Yeah,
Thank you.
the whole everything had to change
Mm.
once COVID hit, and all of our approaches to committees and the department as in a nutshell has changed. So, um, in a lot of ways, things like this for the better. I think. I mean, interacting with people from across the country more than we would have before, committee
Yeah.
wise, and
Oh,
so
absolutely.
Yeah.
uh,
Absolutely.
yeah. So awesome. Well, I don't know about you two. I feel like I'm ready for 10 questions.
Let's do it.
You ready for the 10 questions?
Oh,
Here.
goodness.
Here
They
we
haven't
go.
changed at all, so you're nothing too surprising. But we're going to start off with My first question. Not my favorite one. My favorite one's number 7. We'll get there. Number 1. What is your favorite word?
Oh goodness. Auspicious.
Ooh, I love the way that sounds.
It's not
Straight up.
used enough. It is so fantastic, and I wish more people would use it.
What's the
Love it.
definition of that word? I don't even know.
Um, uh, Danielle's probably much better at this because she reads way more than I do.
No.
But but like favorable, lucky,
Yeah,
like those would
like
be some
beneficial, like
yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm
it's an
picking up what you're
auspicious
putting down.
meeting, like
Mhm.
you know.
Like often it is used in other cultures that, when you're going to get married, you would meet, with like the priest or that type of person, and they would choose an auspicious, wedding date and time. Like
Yes.
in the stars, it says, this is the best time for you two.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Perfect. I love it. Great word. I
I
like
love
it.
it. What is your least favorite word?
I don't think I have one. Um,
Oh, I definitely have one.
yeah, there's no words that like bother me, so to speak.
Mhm.
No, I can't say that I really do have one
That's okay.
or
Fair
one
enough.
that like irks me.
Fair enough.
Well, then I guess if it's not irking you, what in the world excites you?
Oh, nerding out like literally excites me. Like, and this sounds so bad. Um, I just like technology. So like when I'm working on different like coding type projects, when like things start work, like I like just nerd out and get so excited. Um, so that's probably passion one. Passion two is like CrossFit. Um, very big into CrossFit. So much so any competition that, they're much better about like televising them on like YouTube and whatnot. My family thinks I'm crazy because I could tell you stats about certain athletes and they're like, it's like the same stats people can, rattle off on like NFL players.
Sure.
Right.
And, I'll tell you, all their stats. But anyway,
So
so
gross.
probably those two things.
Okay.
Yeah, through
I
the
Great.
love
moon.
it. I love it. What bums you out? What brings you
Um,
down?
a lack of sunshine. I don't
Oh,
know how people in,
Uh,
the east when it's like the winter and that doom and gloom, it's like if it's like more than 24 hours of that sunshine, I'm like I would have seasonal affective disorder like ASAP.
well,
so I have
looking at my.
a lamp like on top of my monitors
Yeah.
specifically for that.
Oh
Today
yeah.
is doom and gloom for sure. Yesterday was beautiful though and sunny, so
Yeah, that's good.
yeah.
That's
I'm looking out
definitely
a
good.
gray window right now. So
Yeah. Like it'd be nice and then like after about a day I'd be like, nope, it's gotta go. Like we need something
Bring it
else.
back.
yep.
Yes.
All right. Well, we're talking about sights that you love, sunshine and stuff. What is a sound or noise that you love?
The ocean. I'm definitely yeah, like a water baby, so to speak. I mean, the sound of rain sounds good too, but like just that ocean, like just sound. And it's not even just like the water of like the waves crashing, it's the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like wind going through the trees. It's like the birds, the seagulls making noise. It's that whole tropical sound.
Awesome.
I hate where I live.
I'm sorry.
You
This is
don't.
why we have to travel so much. I mean,
You're
where
right.
I live is
You're
awesome,
right.
but like you have to go to better places.
I hear people
Yep.
going over speed bumps outside of my house all day, so
Oh,
that's okay.
that drives me insane.
Those speed bumps in front of your house. I
I
do.
took the one out right in front of my house, which is nice, so that's good.
Mm. So what noise do you dislike? I can't wait to hear it already.
So this is gonna sound really like strange, but just hang in with me. So, a lot of times on social media, like whether it's like I don't TikTok, but like whether it's Instagram or Facebook or whatever, there's like random videos that people put out there. Um, I listen to everything on silent. If there's subtitles, I read the subtitles, but like no noise really, aside from Spotify, no noise comes out of my phone. Maybe I just like that quiet world or whatnot. But my husband constantly watches videos, and it's the tone of those people's voices. Like as soon as I hear it, and I think it's just the types of things, because it's either, they're talking about Sally getting murdered, or they're talking about people who, like, the types of videos, it'll be like somebody being pulled over and then somebody like complaining about their rights, and like it's just something about the tone of their voice. I will go to 100 and be like, turn it off or put on earbuds. Like I can't, like he just doesn't listen to him around him, because there's just like something about it of like the talking, but it's like the tone of their voice, because it's not even what they're saying. It's just like the
Right.
tone, and I'm just like, oh my God, stop it. Make it go away. So yeah, when people listen to videos and they're all loud, I'm like, just turn them off. Like, just turn them off right now.
I get that. I get
Yep.
that.
I do for sure. For sure.
What is, and this may be something you say to your husband when he's doing that, but what is your favorite curse word?
Oh gosh. Um,
You can say
I
the
don't,
blank word,
Right.
obviously.
You can be.
Don't
well,
have to.
I don't really curse all that often. I
Okay.
will be honest with you. I really try not to.
Good for
Um,
you.
I mean, I don't know.
I
It's
can
just
tell you,
always been
Jersey
habit.
Danielle throws it around.
Yeah. I mean, I've gone through the gambit of words, I'll say, for the most part. Like it's not like I've never said a curse word, but it's just like it doesn't normally come out of my mouth, so I don't have a favorite. If anything, I'd be one that like makes up like a random word, like to curse, as opposed to like a real curse word,
Yep.
Okay.
whatnot.
That works.
I think it's a good answer. It's a good
My,
answer.
you do what my grandfather says. He says to use your vocabulary. He
Yeah.
doesn't like swear words. So when my one cousin says the F word in front of him constantly, it's always entertaining to see what he's gonna say back to him. So usually it's use your vocabulary or you sound like an
Yeah.
idiot. So
Like
but
if
when he says
anything, like all like the word and it's not, I mean, I don't consider it a bad word, but it's like, like one of those things, like if something's, going, I'll say balls a lot, like balls, like as opposed to any other word, but I don't know where that has come from.
I like it.
That's a good one. That's a good one. So what profession other than this would you like to attempt?
Oh gosh. Um, so many. So many. What life could I live? When I was a little
Yeah.
kid, I wanted to be Miss America. Don't ask me why. I think I blame like my aunt for always making me watch beauty pageants, but I thought that would be the coolest job ever. As I got older, I've always I've always wanted to work for the NSA, in some kind of like cybersecurity type thing,
There you go.
type intelligence job. Um, just because I find it super entertaining. I like reading people and, like that type of stuff. I've read a lot of books about, um, just like, I can't even think of the right word now. I know the second word is like social engineering and whatnot. And so it's just very fascinating to me, that
That's
world.
Yeah. Cool.
like that.
Hmm.
I read a book like thinking like Sherlock Holmes or something like that, where it was all about how to think and
Observation.
compartmentalize things, and like yeah, reading people is part of that. So
Yeah.
random random fact.
I'll have to find the book
Yeah,
for you about the social engineering, because
yeah, I'd be curious to
it's very
see.
fascinating.
Awesome. Yeah, I'd like to know. On the flip side of that coin, what profession would you not like to do?
Um, Two things: be a gardener or be a painter. When I bought my house, I had to paint this whole thing, and I cursed every day practically. The day I was done painting, I literally just trashed all my painting clothes because I was tired. I don't like the smell of paint. I don't like the art of painting. It just drives me insane. And the reason I say gardening is because I'm like, oh, there's a weed and I have to go pick it. And
It's never
there's so
really
many things.
done.
I'd rather pick up poop than pick weeds up out of the.
Fair. Very fair. They're more tedious things for sure.
Yes.
Those two.
So we just got two more questions. At the end of your life, what do you want people to remember you for, Lucinda?
I would just want people to remember just like my personality, but more so like just kindness, like just things we've ever, done together or whatnot. And just like the impact on their life.
Love it.
Awesome. So it is, this will probably go out next week, which is Valentine's Day week. So we wanted to ask you, what do you love most about ENS or Paychecks as a whole?
Oh my gosh, there's a lot of good things. I would honestly say the people, because it's like the work is the work. We could work at a million payroll companies
Yeah.
and do practically the same thing in every single one of them, but it really is the people that are here. Just so many different types of personalities, and I have a great day every day that I come to work. Even if I get frustrated on something, there's always somebody on one of the teams I work with that is throwing up, funny memes or, cracking jokes and helps, the day get lighter. And without those people, it wouldn't be the place that it is. I mean,
Yeah.
we get other cool stuff too, but that's probably my favorite thing that I love around here.
Yeah. It's the same for me. So
Yeah.
And the PTO. I like the PTO.
Well, yeah, that too. I mean, there's a lot of good benefits.
Yeah.
But I would say that's like the number one. You can't replace people's personalities around here.
No.
Yep.
For sure.
I agree.
Nice.
Very good answers. Very good answers. Very good answers. Speaking of the people in ENS, especially, I gotta just say this episode is sponsored by Tammy's new WebEx group she created yesterday, ENS Announcements. If you haven't joined ENS Announcements, join the WebEx. You want a little bit less clutter in your inbox? That's where our announcements are going to be. ENS Announcements. Look for Tammy's email with a hyperlink if you don't have it, or ask your supervisor. But we'll get you in there. And we're sponsored by that. So, had to get that in there.
Good job.
I just came up with that.
I love the sponsorships.
Genius. Genius.
They're always pretty random. That brings us to the conclusion of our questions and our really the ENS Insider. But I'll speak on behalf of me. I'm glad that we were able to have you on today, and
Yes.
I'll speak for Danielle too.
Yeah.
But she'll agree. But we're just happy to have you today, and learned a lot about you. And I think your attitude towards work and life is something that could be duplicated. And your positive attitude and sticking to things and all that, and your
We're
love
lucky to
for
have you.
Yeah, it's just all good stuff. And like I
That was
said,
fun.
I'm the exact opposite, but I could probably strive to be better for sure.
You could say she was an auspicious hire.
You could
You
say
know
that.
what though, Cam? I'll
Yeah.
be honest with you though. We don't need a million of me. We need that cornucopia of people. So
There you
That's
go.
another fun word, by the way.
a good one.
We need you. We need me. We need Danielle's in the world. Like we can't be all uniform, otherwise it wouldn't be fun.
Yeah.
Just saying.
We're
You're
with
right.
you.
All right. Well, thank you again.
Yeah, thank you, Lucinda.
Today.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks to everyone watching this episode of the ENS Insider. And as always, if you have suggestions on who you want to hear from next, let us know. But until next time, peace.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Toodles.
Toodles.